everyone. Thank you for joining me again on LinkedIn Live. And in this week's session, Working Moms Academy is presenting once again with founder Wandalyn. But what's interesting today is just not about introducing you about Working Moms Academy, but also introducing to their panel of advisors. So there's going to be a great discussion, especially those of you who are working moms, such as myself as well. So as a working mom, I personally believe we have a different set of challenges. I always say working moms, pay a different price to be successful because we're trying to balance these two worlds of motherhood and our career. And we try to balance it as well as possible. And to be honest, despite more than 10 years being a mother, I think I struggled on some days, but I've got better than I was when I first started juggling both. So in today's discussion, it's going to be interesting because we are going to address on what are the three reasons why working moms struggle at work. Now, if you're not a working mom, you will probably understand this as well because probably your wife or somebody you know is a working mom themselves. And if we take an insight into the life of how working mom operates and what they think and how they feel in that different situations at work and at home, maybe we'll become more sensible and understand better. And how, in what areas can we actually support mothers who are working for families. So before I bring Wanda on screen, I'm going to read a little bit of a bio and she's going to go ahead with a short presentation about sharing the mission of Working Moms Academy. Now, she's actually looking for investors, partners, coaches. If you feel that you can contribute to her community of working moms, she definitely would like to speak further with you. Now, Wandalyn Tan Calupig is a wife, mom of two kids, and the founder of Working Moms Academy. At 34, at the peak of her career as audit manager of Emirates Airlines, she experienced a burnout. She left her job, downshifted, and reinvented her career to align with her life purpose and family needs. Wanda's reinvention in 4 years: audit manager, housewife, consultant, international speaker, Amazon author, career and life coach, CEO, senior auditor, founder of Working Moms Academy. She started Working Moms Academy because of her commitment to help mothers and save them from the pains she has been through. Working Moms Academy is one of the 20 finalists out of 128 applicants of the Built to Last 2020 hackathon, the first ever virtual hackathon for female founders in Southeast Asia. So without further ado, thank you so much for joining us, Fiona. And even if you're not a mother, feel free to also voice out your opinions so that we kind of understand the working mothers around us. How are you, Wandalyn?
Hi, Leza. I'm good. How about you?
I'm very good. So we've got a couple of people joining us today. And I was mentioning earlier, even if the people tuning in are not working moms, we are always surrounded by working moms, right? It's either our wife or our sister or our mother. And today, it's interesting that we're going to delve deeper on the struggles of a working mom so that we can discuss and provide more support and be sensible to the working moms around us. So we're excited, Wandalyn. If you can go ahead with your presentation, help yourself. Thank you.
That's very true. Thank you, Leza. Good morning, good afternoon. And I would like to thank everybody who's watching today. Today, I want to discuss about what are the three reasons why working moms struggle at work from my own perspective. So my question to those working moms who are watching today, are you struggling at work? For those who are not mothers, do you have a family, a friend who or a colleague who is struggling at work? As Lesa said, working moms pay a different price to be successful. And let us talk more about that. Do you know more than 80%, 84%, as the study said, of working moms are stressed. And 3 in 4 working mothers are considering quitting their jobs due to the stresses of the working parenthood. Actually, one of the articles and the post I led over the past few days, yeah, it was Alison Robinson of the Mom Project. She said 2 million mothers left the corporate at the beginning of the year. It is because of the so much stress that working moms face. And today, let us talk more what is happening, right? And allow me to share, if it's okay with you, to first tell about my story and what brought me here today. So as Lesa said, at 34, at the peak of my career as audit manager, I experienced burnout. I left my job, I downshifted and reinvented my career so I can align it with my purpose and my family's needs. And this has been my reinvention from becoming an audit manager, a full-time housewife, consultant, international speaker, Amazon author, career and life coach, CEO, senior auditor, and finally, the startup founder of Working Moms Academy. Working Moms Academy, it is all about a platform and a community that supports mothers struggling with stress and burnout by providing education lacking in schools. So let us move on. Let me just talk more about Working Moms Academy. Our mission is really about helping moms succeed personally and professionally. As you can see, right, 84% of mothers are stressed, and a lot of them are leaving corporate, but it doesn't have to be like that. They could always have a career based on what they wanted, and this is our mission. And also, our vision is for Working Moms Academy to be an online community in Asia for all stages of transitions in career and in motherhood, where moms can find everything they need. And as Lesa said, we have been recognized as one of the 20 finalists out of 128 entries of the Built to Last Hackathon, the first ever hackathon for female founders in Southeast Asia. So let me jump now. What are the three reasons why do working moms struggle at work? This is from my perspective. First, lack of education. Second, lack of support. Third is the lack of support at work. And today with me also are joining, the advisors and the partner of Working Moms Academy because we want to talk more about this topic. So let's talk about the first struggle. Number one, there's a lack of education. How many of you are mothers here who's watching? And, according to study, 80% of women become mothers. But the sad truth is that, from my experience, no education or experience have taught me how to become a mother. How can I really manage a family, a life, and a career? There's really nothing. So that's why in Working Moms Academy, what we wanted to do is to give free courses and books from other mothers who are in their journey of career and motherhood. We do have training programs, certification courses, group and one-on-one coaching. So let me just bring the advisors because I do have advisors now from Malaysia and India, and I'm now in the process of interviewing. I received a lot of applications yesterday, like 20 plus. I'm still screening the advisors, but I would like to thank Emmy and Anuj. If you can just, and of course, Sandra, if you can just give your perspective from your own countries. From the Philippines, growing up, I never really had any training about motherhood, about career, about family, about happiness and all. So maybe from Emmy in Malaysia, how does it work? Have you had any training? Related to motherhood that prepared you know how to manage a life, a family, and a career? Emmy, can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you. Hi, Wanda.
Okay, okay.
And very good morning from Malaysia.
Thank you for joining me today, Emmy.
Thank you so much. Okay, referring to your question, no, eventually, because I was in corporate, my background, I used to work in a corporate for 17 years. No, I've never had any experience or go for any training, for such training for mothers, especially because we were all busy, right? And we thought it's so natural for us to be a mother and a career woman at the same time.
Thank you for sharing that. How about you, Anuj? Maybe India is something special. Is there something in education or maybe in corporate that, help mothers, that teach them how can you really have a life, family, and career? Because mothers have a lot of responsibilities from cooking to counseling to, taking care of the children. How about in India?
Yeah, I think it has been challenging, in India, but the things are changing, especially because of the pandemic. A lot of people have worked from home, and I think especially not just moms, even the dads have realized, the kind of work and effort that moms have to put, both in taking care of family and working and doing everything what they do. So in a way, the pandemic has really helped, moms and the dads to understand how they need to support each other. There's a tremendous potential. In fact, I read an article recently wherein if the women are working in the family, it helps the economy grow for the country. That is something that a lot of people don't know about. Yeah. So I think it's time that the spouses, whether it's a woman or men, support each other in both their family as well as their careers, and I think very very essential. And I think the academy is going to help bring that knowledge and experience for everyone.
That's very good. Thank you, Anuj, for sharing it. It's very good to hear, right, from a man's perspective, how the pandemic have helped them realize a lot of, the big role that working moms do. Because as I always said to my friends also, I'm working on double shift. So after finishing the work, then I have to go home, take care of the kids' schooling, take care of whatever they need. And it's really challenging. And I agree with you, Anuj. I think a working mother inspires the children also. So it's about improving not only the family's economy, but at the end of the day it will impact the overall economy. And before I bring Sandra, this is how Working Moms Academy have partnered with Quintegral and American Management Association, who are leaders in personal and professional development. If I may speak, American Management Association is a 98-year-old company who has over 140 courses. And they have also like leadership specific courses for women. And these are I just put some of the training programs here that the Working Moms Academy is now offering to organizations so that they can really help women, improve their leadership skills. And we also know, right, about statistics, only less than 20% of women are in the C-suite positions. And these training programs, really aims to help women to stand up, own their power, and to progress in their careers. We will offer soon women leadership certificate programs. Assertiveness training for women in business. I find it's very difficult. When I was a manager before, I was being surrounded by men, right? How do you speak up for yourself? But over time, I was able to understand, and use those NLP trainings also that I have. We will also have women leading with impact, resilience, and strategic making. And of course, nobody in school taught me about, time management, but this is one of the critical skills that every mother needs to have. And one of the trainings we'll also have is managing your workload for women. So let me just bring Sandra because she is the operations manager of Quintegral Asia. Maybe Sandra, you can just talk about how can really, this partnership with Quintegral and American Management Association help us bring these programs to help not only the working moms, but their organizations, right? Because I know that, a productive and happy mother can always produce great results and great work. So maybe you can just talk about what is American Management Association and Quintegral and how can it help organizations also.
Yes, thank you, Wanda. Yep. So of course, like you, I'm also a mother, a mom of two. So American Management Association can help us in so many ways, like into trainings for women. And as you mentioned, we have assertiveness training this coming March. And of course, we also support the women's certification program under American Management also. But of course, I would like to give you just a brief background of American Management Association and who we are and what we do. Of course, AMA, we are the exclusive partner of AMA Quintegral Philippines. So Quintegral Philippines, just to make it more clear, Quintegral Philippines has been partner of American Management Association, exclusive partner of AMA in the Philippines and other countries, Asia Pacific countries, for more than 10 years now. And we have a lot of suite of solutions under Quintegral Philippines. So at the heart of our organization is the American Management Association. All of the leadership training programs that we offer and leadership and management is under AMA. We also customize training programs, depends on the needs of the client. And of course, we also have the predictive talent analytics. We have the project management institute certification. We also have the coaching. And of course, we have the IT training under a Trenocate company. And so what we can do. And of course, as our offering under the AMA, we have upcoming programs. Monthly, we have programs that is definitely, we can definitely offer to all of our Working Moms Academy members.
That's very good. Thank you for sharing that, Sandra. The good thing about this partnership, I was one of the facilitators in with Quintegral and American Management Association, and they really have wealth of information. When we dealt with companies, we always sit down first in terms of what do you need, because sometimes it's a matter of putting five trainings in one training to suit the needs of organization. So if you do have training needs now where we could be of help, you just email wanda@workingmomsacademy.com, and would love to help you and your organization, really help the women or, the people in your organization to reach the business goals. Moving forward, so we talk about the lack of education, right? There's also lack of support at home. This is why working moms struggle. According to studies and according to a lot of articles and research, 70% of caring for children and elderly relatives are done by mothers. Well, when my kids were growing up, I always have at least one to two people with me in the house because I cannot really manage it. But the negative, it's not a negative. I'll say, when you're a working mom, the moment you step at home, your children forget whoever is around. They always say, only mommy. So that is why even they might say, oh, there's support at home. You have a nanny, you have family members. I understand that. But the children's need for the mother is always there. That's why every mother, the moment they reach home, your kids are always behind you. They're always chasing you because in their mind, I need mommy. And this is why Working Moms Academy will offer coffee connections. You just need a space, right, for you to breathe and to share. And we're going to have that. We started that already last week where moms do share tips and techniques. How do you manage, schooling of the kids online and homeschooling? And we had a great discussion about that. We also will launch soon an online playgroup because I know a lot of children, they are playing online, and we want a safe community for children. So we're going to introduce this soon. And of course, we're gonna have expert speakers and coaches because this is where moms can bring their expertise to help women. And let me just talk about it more. Why do we need support for working moms? Number one, I know Anuj will agree, right? Or Emmy will
Yes.
agree, and Sandra as well. A happy wife is a happy life. Or if you don't understand, just understand how is your life when your mom's not well? You can understand. Growing up, I know how my mom's mood can affect the whole day. And as a mother myself, I know how my emotions can impact my children. When I experienced burnout in 2014, I remember my kids always ask me, Mommy, are you okay? Because even without speaking, the kids can feel the feelings of the mother because we are the emotional center of the family. And also, right, only happy mothers can raise happy children. I know they said 264 million people are suffering from depression currently. And a lot of 94% of people are lonely. And it is actually the mother who can really help hold the family's emotion. So maybe Anuj, you can share how is your experience at home? How is your wife's emotions affecting the whole family?
I think it affects a lot. The good thing, at least in my personal life, is my mom. Although both of us
Ah,
were boys, brothers, and I also
uh-huh.
have two boys, of my own.
Okay.
It was important to, support. So when I was obviously growing as a kid, my mom made sure that we also are supporting the family at home. Dad being a teacher in education profession, it was very important for us to inculcate those values and culture at home. And I'm glad that we are also able to do that with my family, supporting my wife, supporting my kids. The boys also need to understand, that eventually it's going to be kind of a partnership where both the husband and wife and also the kids are helping each other and growing together. Otherwise there's not going to be any balance between all
Hmm.
the family members. Very, very important
It's
to have a support system.
very true. Thank you, Anuj, for sharing. That's true, right? The values of the children comes from the mother. This is what I learned. And that the kids will not, do what you say. The kids will always copy what you do. So
Very
Emmy,
true.
how is that happy wife and happy life working for you? Maybe you can share a bit.
Yeah, I believe in that principle because being a happy wife it really, you can see how your husband and your kids feel the same way too. And for me, as a person, as a mother, I treat my kids as friends. I don't really see them as my children really. Even for my husband, I treat him as my boyfriend instead of husband. So it's different, right? Being a boyfriend, we treat him, we do surprises. I always surprise him actually for birthdays or even not necessarily any event. So that's the only way we feel happy. Not necessarily you have to buy huge things or something that's really precious, but every single moment you try to appreciate that. So I believe being happy, you as a person, as a mother, you really translate that to all your family members, including your parents too, not only your not only your husband and kids, but also your parents.
That's true. Thank you so much. That's why Sandra, right? I think it's March, if I am correct. We will have this emotional intelligence training together with Quintegral. We're gonna post it soon. That am I correct, Sandra? Do you have those dates already for emotional intelligence training?
Um, yeah, I would just have to check that. That's come. We also have February actually for emotional
Oh,
intelligence. Yes.
okay. So
Um,
just we're gonna post it soon in the website
yes.
and both in the Working Moms Academy LinkedIn page. But emotional intelligence is very critical. That is why this is one of the course offering that we'll have in Working Moms Academy in partnership, of course, with Integral Asia and American Management Association. Okay, that is also other than Working Moms Academy's partnership with Quintegral Asia. We will also have, of course, upcoming programs with the expert speakers. We're gonna have LinkedIn Personal Branding for Mothers by Virginia Bautista. She is one of the top experts in Asia in terms of LinkedIn personal branding. I know when Virginia and I had this conversation, she said mothers find it difficult to really post something and link and related to their families because they don't know up to how much they can share. They're also afraid to share about their struggles because they know how much other people can judge them. But I think it's very important to have this information. And of course, Emmy, one of our advisors, can share us more information about brand image excellence and professional presence workshop. Emmy is an international coach and speaker also who has, certifications from UK, and she is really an experienced professional and of course an entrepreneur who has so much to share. So I'm very excited. And of course, one of our teachers also is Mirna Natividad. She is already a senior citizen, but Mommy Ann, as they call it, she has filled over 20 businesses. Now she's teaching individuals how can you find your ikigai, the right career and business for you, because this is where her expertise is in terms of helping people, really find the right business. Because at home, I remember when I told my mom I want to be a business owner, she was like, I think corporate is better. So but I always believe there's a right career for the right person. It's all about getting the right mentors, right? So we have a lot of expert speakers already in the pipeline, and we'll of course soon introduce these programs as well for the academy. Let's now talk about the third problem. So we talk about struggles of working moms because of lack of education. Second is lack of support at home. Lastly, it's about the lack of support at work. I know working moms, we do share something in the office, but it's always limited. Actually, a lot of studies also said that most moms, even men for that matter, are afraid to share their information because they're being judged, and actually they're being judged of themselves already and also their colleagues. Let me just share a quick story about myself. I remember I was not getting promoted and some people are getting ahead of me, and I know I'm already qualified. So I had this conversation with my boss and I asked him, what do I need to do to be the next person to be promoted as manager? And his response to me, he said, "Oh, Wanda, I never thought you wanted to become a manager because you have kids." Well, it doesn't make it right or wrong. But I think first, my assumption is that my boss will promote me based on my performance. But his assumption, because of the workload I have already at home, I'm not even interested. And in companies now, there might be, You can call something for help, but there's really no support group for working moms that I've seen. There's no working moms club as such. That is why Working Moms Academy wants to have future counseling calls. We're really the ones, when you pick up that phone, you know that you're talking to another mother on the other line who can really teach you how to navigate life, family, and career. We're going to have group and one-on-one coaching. A job marketplace, I know a lot of this said 43% of women leave their professional roles, but they also want to come back. As Anuj said, women, working moms can, help the economy as well. And a study said 94% of women want financial independence. But going back to the, job marketplace is another challenge for mothers. Thankfully for me, took a break really of 2.5 years to fully take care of my children. But thankfully, I was able to bounce back and go back to corporate and really do what I love to do, like this training and coaching. And of course, starting this Working Moms Academy, which is my legacy project. It's also about free community support. So for those of you, if you don't have support in the office, you can right away join this LinkedIn group now, bit.ly. This is case sensitive, so make sure it's all capital, WMA support group. There, I'm posting free courses. We have, weekly webinars already that we're starting for moms because we really want to start supporting mothers now. So maybe Emmy and Anuj and Sandra, maybe you can share, in your companies that you are working before or working now, is there really some kind of support structure for working moms? Because actually, if you look at the articles now, this is, what a lot of moms and a lot of organizations are pushing for. The need to have a special, benefit or a special distinction to help these mothers who are working double shift. Emmy, what was your situation before?
From the previous organization that I worked with, they are the investment arm of the Malaysia itself. So working in a high-paced, fast-paced organization, and everything was urgent, right? No, we don't have such program or such specific trainings for the mothers or even for the workers, for the women workers. So yeah, it's quite sad to see how we have to struggle in between being a career woman and also as a mother. But with all your initiative today, I really salute for what you're doing, Wanda. So I believe it will really help those mothers out there who struggles, but they're afraid to let that out, right? Yeah.
Thank you, Emmy, for sharing that. I remember when I was suffering burnout in 2014. First, I didn't even know it was burnout already. I just know I was always sick every month, and doctors cannot find out what's wrong with me. And my husband just said maybe you just need to rest or like that. But I didn't know that I was, that sickness already is a sign of burnout for me. And thankfully, when I found it out, that is when I made a decision. I need to take a break because I need to focus on what my heart and mind is telling me, which is to fully take care of the children. Now, when I left corporate for 2.5 years, I also realized, oh my God, I am not born to be at home. I cannot just sit down. I've been very busy taking care of the housework, cooking, cleaning, but there is lack of fulfillment also. So I believe there's really a lot of women wants to work, and it's about finding the right work for them. What are your thoughts about this, Anuj? Maybe you can share.
Yes, the corporates or the places where I have worked or currently working, at least in India perspective, I can say a lot of organizations and even some legislation, by the country, they have kind of made it mandatory to have, children play centers or even a working moms group within the organization. The point that you made just now, that how do they come together and support each other, even at work. So I'm glad that things are changing in a country like India. I'm glad that the organization that I have worked for or even currently working are supporting these initiatives, and it is also becoming in a way mandatory for a lot of organizations to help moms with their kids who are at play center at the workplace. They have a separate place where they can be learning and be kept busy. And more
That's
important than that,
mm.
yeah, more
Yeah,
important than
yeah,
it's
continue.
important. Yeah, even for the men who are working, in the corporate world, I think the story that you shared, it's important that we understand that, and I mean everyone wants to grow in some way or the other, and it's important that managers, whether it's a woman. I mean, I have worked with a lot of female managers who have been my managers and leaders. So in a way, that has helped me to understand the perspective as a subordinate or a peer with them. And I think things are changing and changing for better. And I think every organization and all the corporates should implement such policies to support the working moms.
That's very good. Thank you, Anuj, for sharing that. That's very good to hear that India is making it mandatory to have this working moms group. And I think every, company should consider that. And if your company currently doesn't have, if you do want to support your family or friends, or if you yourself is a working mom, I hope you start joining Working Moms Academy's support group. This is all free. This is also on LinkedIn. You're on the same platform. Just type bit.ly all caps WMA support group. I would love to welcome you and to support you in any way I can, because every week we'll start having this, free webinars, and of course some forum just to speak about life and motherhood and everything in between. And I know Sandra, she loves training, and this keeps her awake. I mean, this keeps her very excited to wake up in the morning. And Sandra, maybe I know in the Philippines, there's a lot of initiatives also in terms of working mothers. How is it now? How has it changed over the past few months or years?
Actually, if it changed a lot, because as I have remember, I have attended one of the programs that's most of those attendees are CEO. That's women CEO, and of course, through the help of training, of course, and empowering them to become to talk about what are their struggles in life, and how did they come up as a CEO, ended as a CEO in the organization. And of course, some training, most of the trainings actually help them, and the support from their organization also is very helpful.
Yes, I definitely agree, because we never stop learning, right? That is the goal, to grow. And I just want to quickly share, because this is from the last webinar last Saturday, where we talk about how can you have stress-free schooling of your kids. And this is what other moms are sharing. This is why in Working Moms Academy, what we said, this is about moms learning from other moms, because the best way for you to learn is for those who are doing it good already. So these are some of the tips that we got. And a lot of moms said set boundaries, because stress moms always have stress kids. It's about having the right schedule, also building routine and habits, setting up an area. They said, for your kids to have, a dedicated space for them to work. And if you're a mother, you also need to study with your kids. This is why it's very important. I remember, the past few days, my daughter was telling me, mommy, my classmates are amazed. How can I complete all the assignments that we have? And I told them I love to study. And they were very surprised. And why I love studying. But she said to me that, mommy, I always see you studying. And I think that also inspired me to study. So I think, for those moms who are stressed about schooling and all, and I think you just need to continue learning with your children, because that is how you grow together, as, in your relationship, and in terms of helping them cope up not only with school, but with the everyday challenges. And also breathing exercises is one of the ways that is shared by other mothers, to help you with your schooling of your children. And of course, is sleeping. Well, sleep is very important, because more sleep gives more energy. If you want to join the upcoming webinars, I want you to just go to this link, bit.ly, again, all capital, WMA weekly webinar. This week, we're going to talk about, how can you lose weight with zero exercise and zero hunger? Because they said, more than 63% of mothers are obese. Imagine. I had that problem myself in terms of losing that baby weight. And on the next week after, we're going to talk about how can you talk so that your husband and your kids will listen. So these are some interesting topics which are all free. We're covering it in Working Moms Academy's weekly webinars. And I hope also to share, of course, and to learn from other mothers. How do you really do it, right? How do you manage a life, family, and a career? And of course, these are the webinars I'm talking about. It's going to be on Feb 13 for the other one and Feb 20 for the next one. So I'm very excited to share these weekly webinars with other mothers. And I'm also sharing the recording for those member of the group. So if you are busy now, but you still want to learn and watch, and you can watch for free, okay? And this is one of the initiatives that Working Moms Academy is starting already to help working moms really manage a life, a family, and a career. And of course, we have the LinkedIn group. I just said WMA support group is where you have to go. And of course, we have a lot of free courses now in our online school. It's bit.ly WMA school, all caps again. You can now get free training on how can you really land the job of your dreams. This is where I shared how I was able to land one job from another based on the 3-step formula that I use. How can you really move from burnout to bliss? I know a lot of you are stressed, and these are some of the tips that I use also in terms of what are the 3 reasons for burnout and how can you really break through. How can you reinvent your career? A lot of people, are asking me, from being an audit manager to now a speaker, how is that even possible, right? And that is where I also share how can you reinvent your career. And not only me, soon we're gonna have these free programs with Emmy, together also with Quintigral. We're gonna offer free courses for you to join the academy to learn something. And then of course, we'll be of happy to help. And of course, Anuj, as an expert in design innovation, will help us rethink what's the best way for us to deliver the courses for you. And of course, we're looking for advisors, investor partner, trainers, and coaches. I would like to thank Emmy and Anuj for joining me today. I would like to thank Quintigral, who's the representative of American Management Association, for partnering and saying yes to us so we can right away offer these programs to organizations. And of course, we are still looking for trainers and coaches who can help us on Working Moms Academy and to grow this community. If you want to be a part of this mission of helping moms succeed personally and professionally, you can just fill up the form bit.ly WMA form and I will get back to you. Now, if you want to be an investor, I know this is a great opportunity to invest in educational technology platform. And I know here in Working Moms Academy, it's going to be the training and the learning that you'll get here will last and even benefit generations to come because it's about life skills that we're going to teach here. That's all for me today. Are there any last words from you, Emmy, Anuj, and Sandra? How do you think is Working Moms Academy is going to help families and organizations?
Okay, to all struggling mom out there, I used to struggle before. I worked in the corporate for 17 years and I jumped into an image consulting industry. So I understand how do you feel. So trust me, you are not alone. So I'm here to help you and guide you to build a strong brand image, right? To gain more confidence and credibility, and of course, to build a charismatic personality.
Thank you for sharing that. So watch out for Emmy's program with Working Moms Academy. We're gonna teach you more about what she said already, and I know you can already sense, right, how much you will learn from Emmy. I also have an upcoming YouTube in that I'm going to post about this interview with Emmy where she shares everything. Anuj, how do you have some words more to share?
Certainly. I mean, as I said, the men are going to also play an important role in helping the working moms. Right? So I'm going to share perspectives about how do we support really each other. So that the working moms are supported and they are also growing both in personal and professional life. Yeah. So I'll be looking forward to sharing those insights.
Thank you, Anuj, for being here. Last, of course, and at the least, Sandra, last words for our programs and how it can help, working moms and organization.
Yes, I know being a working mom is not easy. It's really hard to balance your time between your family and your workload. So I believe there's a lot of training programs that will help you, definitely help you to develop to become a more um, productive working moms in this kind of environment that we have right now, especially in this pandemic times.
So thank you again for joining Emmy, Anuj, and Sandra. Leza, thank you for this opportunity to discuss this very important topic. I would like to thank everyone who's watching today. If you, as a way of thanking you, just access those courses already for free, and you can start watching it already as soon as you sign up. There's also free books that we're launching soon. I'm just taking care of the website and loading off the books, but it's gonna come soon. So with that, I would like to thank you. For any questions or clarifications, how can you partner with the Academy? Feel free to send me a message on LinkedIn. I'm there and I'm going to get back to you. Thank you, Leza. Thank you, Leza. And thank you, everybody. Is there any questions for us, Leza?
Hi everyone, thank you for joining. This is an amazing discussion. There are a couple of people, Wanda, who's commenting, but they want to work with you. So I've directly messaged them to ask them to get in touch with you because they also want to contribute their expertise, their experience, and providing support for your virtual coffee meetup in the future. But I also want to say, Wandalyn, that maybe the next time for your virtual coffee meetup, it would be great as well to have other mothers who host it and with a topic that they would love to discuss as well. So we have a variety of mothers all over the world sharing their predicaments, struggles, challenges, and how they overcome it. And I want to suggest topics on time management as well if you can organize something like that.
Oh, definitely I'll do that. Actually, this week I'm gonna be joined by a certified Wild Fit coach who's gonna talk about programs, and I'm actually getting some mothers to co-host with me, and I think that time management is very good. I already have one person in mind who I know is very good in time management, so I'm definitely going to invite her. And for those of you who have something to share to other mothers, I would love to open my hands and welcome you, because it's all about moms helping other moms. So I'm also having some guests from Puerto Rico. She is Anka. She is Annette Caraballo. I hope I pronounced it right. But Annette will share about skincare as well. So I'm actually already have lined up the guests as well who can share their expertise and topics. But if you do have something, please feel free to reach out, and I would love to have you on the weekly coffee sessions and the weekly webinars. Thank you, Leza, for that.
Thank you. Thank you, everyone.
Have a great day.
Thank you. Have a good day.